Los Angeles of California is the global hub for film and international business. After Washington, D.C., Atlanta, and Dhaka, Rajulo has inaugurated its fourth branch in the Little Bangladesh area near downtown Los Angeles. The office is located on the 12th floor of Central Plaza on Wilshire Boulevard. Rajulo is a full-service immigration law firm providing American immigration support all over the world through Google's state-of-the-art cloud technology. We stand out with a dedicated team of 7 accomplished attorneys and over 100 law clerks and case managers. Rajulo is your trustworthy destination for 100% accurate and reliable immigration service, ensuring your data security and peace of mind regardless of your location. We are proud to announce that our success rate is above 99%. To learn more about our Los Angeles branch, please contact the address and phone number shown on the screen. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the weekly live session held by attorney Raju Mahajan and Associates. For today's live session, I am your host Isabella, and with me I have the principal founder of the firm, Mr. Raju Mahajan himself. Mr. Mahajan, it is great to have you here.
Thank you very much, Isabella, and I welcome everybody who are watching our show at this moment and will watch later in our different social media platform.
Yes, thank you to all of our spectators who have joined us from all kinds of platforms. Today we have another very informative session arranged for all of you. Today our session is on TPS, Temporary Protective Status. So, Mr. Mahajan, please educate us about this.
Thank you. Can I see the PowerPoint? All right, thank you very much. So in the very first, I should mention that TPS is not applicable for all of you. TPS is only applicable to certain countries, and people from those countries, they can enjoy benefit of TPS. So just bear that in your mind before we move forward. Next slide, please. So here, I'm saying TPS is a special protection, allowing nationals from certain countries to live in the U.S. The U.S. government may designate a country for TPS if there is an ongoing armed conflict, such as civil war or an environmental disaster, which would make it difficult for the people currently staying in the U.S. to go back to their home country. So the short things about this slide is that U.S. government may designate some countries, probably because they have civil war or some kind of armed conflict or some environmental disaster, and it would be difficult for the people of those countries who are already living in America to go back to their home country because of this civil war or environmental issues to stay here. That's why it's called temporary protective status. This is temporary. It's not a permanent solution. All right, next slide. Okay, so the question is, who are eligible for TPS? What are the eligibility requirements of TPS? Number one, applicant must be a national or a habitually stateless resident of a country with TPS. So I'm not going that detail into habitual, stateless resident issue. This is a very complex legal issue. Just remember this thing. You have to be citizen or national of a country that is designated as a TPS country. Next one is be continuously physically present in the US since a country's TPS designation. You have to be physically present in America continuously. Continuously doesn't mean that you cannot go, outside of America at all. You may, but that is for a short visit. You have to be physically present for more than 6 months in a calendar year to be recognized as a physically present and continuous presence. If you have any question about this, we can definitely talk later, but you have to meet this requirement. Next one is have continuously resided in the US since a date specified by the Secretary of Homeland Security. Again, the same thing. So usually Department of Homeland Security, they designate a country for TPS status, and when Secretary of Homeland Security, they designate a country, you have to live continuously within America to enjoy the benefit of TPS. The last one, pose no threat to the U.S. for nefarious criminal or national security related reasons determined by the relevant US agency. So this is kind of like a catch-all situation, meaning you are not a big criminal. You did not do any big crimes, or like, you're not, um, there's no bar under the INA rule. So again, I'm not going that detail because it depends on person to person. It depends on your background. In general, if you have a clean background, you are eligible to apply for TPS. Next slide, please. Not eligible. So some people, they are not eligible. So you are not eligible if, number one, found inadmissible under INS section 212A. Again, I'm not going that detail into that INS section 212A, but bottom line is, if you're not inadmissible to United States, including non-waiverable criminal and security related grounds that I just mentioned a couple seconds ago. Number two is subject to any of the mandatory bars to asylum. When people come to America, most of the people, they can apply for bar, but there are some situations that you cannot apply for asylum. If you are ineligible to apply for asylum, you are also ineligible to apply for TPS. So what are those grounds? For example, um, and these are included but not limited to participation in the persecution of another individual, or engaging in the inciting terrorist activity. The same thing, like, you're not a violent person, you did not participate in any violent crime, any terrorism kind of things. If you are involved with those things, you are not eligible for TPS. Next one is fails to meet the continuous physical residence and continuous residence in the United States requirement. So that's like the one of the main reason why people from countries that is already designated under TPS are not eligible to apply TPS, because in many cases they cannot establish that they had physical presence and continuous residence. So these two things you must meet. Number one, physical presence and continuous residence. That's like the key issues when you apply for TPS. The next one is fails to meet initial or later initial TPS registration requirements. So again, it's not that just because you are from a country. So let's say Haiti. Haiti is a country under TPS. So just because you're from Haiti, you'll be automatically eligible for TPS. That's not true. You have to apply. You have to apply, and then Department of Homeland Security will approve your application. Only then you will enjoy TPS. So many times people call me and say, hey, I'm from Haiti, I should be under TPS, and I say, did you apply for that? And he or she said, no, I did not apply. And I said, then you are not in TPS. To be under TPS, you must apply with applicable fee and all the documents and requirements. Only then you'll be considered under TPS. Next slide, please. Forms to fill up. So to apply for TPS, you must fill up the form I-821, 821, application for temporary protective status. Also with I-821, you can also apply for I-765, which is application for EAD card. I strongly recommend everybody to apply for I-765 at the same time I-821, because that will save your time, because when you are in TPS, you are eligible to work. So why not you take this benefit? You can definitely apply for work authorization after your TPS application is approved, but I highly recommend you to apply at the same time. That will save your time and it will make USCIS people's life easy. Next slide, please. All right, so required documents. So again, there's no like a fixed documents. These are like a kind of like a very important, but it's not that one of this is missing, your TPS application will not be approved. So number one, copy of your passport. So the copy of your passport will establish that you are from that country. Copy of birth certificate accompanied by photo identification. So a lot of time people from other countries, their birth certificate, their government constantly change the form or format of birth certificate. Try your best to keep the latest version of the birth certificate. If you do not have a birth certificate, definitely there are other documents that can establish your your nationality of that country, but birth certificate is one of the strong document. I advise you to keep a copy of your latest birth certificate. Copy of another national identity document with a photograph and or fingerprinted issued by the country of your origin. Again, any kind of document. Also, copy of I-94. So I-94 is a record of your arrival and departure to United States. So try your best to keep all the I-94s with you all the time. With you means like at your home. It will really help you in future. Next slide, please. So additional and optional documents. So all these are additional and optional documents. None of these are mandatory, but the more document, and at the bottom of the slide I mentioned, note, the more evidence one can show in support of the application, the better. The more document you can submit to USCIS is better for your application. So let me read some of these things. Copies of medical record or school if they have information supporting a claim of nationality from a country with TPS. Again, medical report, school document. Copy of other immigration documents showing nationality and identity. Employment records, rent receipts, utility bill, attestation by church, union, or other organization officials who knows the applicant. So all these documents, these are really helpful, but nothing mandatory. Next slide, please. Okay, so the TPS application procedure. The application procedure is very easy. You can do it online, which is very good. Which is very good. So you have to file the form I-821 with all the required documents submitted to USCIS online portal. Within 3 weeks, you will receive a receipt notice. Again, receipt notice doesn't mean that your application is approved. Receipt notice is just a receipt notice showing that the USCIS received your package. Then after they send you the receipt notice, they will send you another letter for your biometric appointment. Biometric appointment means like a fingerprint appointment. On that date, you will go with your ID. So it can be your passport, it can be your driving license, and original letter for the biometric appointment. So this is a very tricky thing. Please take the original letter from USCIS with you, including a form of valid ID. In terms of valid ID, I would recommend you to take passport, and probably both passport and your driving license. If you do not have driving license, try to take a state ID issued by the state where you are living at this moment. Sometime after you submit your application, USCIS may send you a RFE. So please don't worry. RFE doesn't mean that they're going to cancel your application. RFE means they need further evidence. That's why it's called required further evidence. They need more evidence of your nationality and your continuous physical presence in America. So just, if they send you RFE, answer them properly. And after that, either you will get approval or denial. If you get denial, definitely there are some other options to do. I'll talk about that in a minute. If you get approved, meaning you are under TPS status, you are eligible to stay in America for the time mentioned in the approval notice. Also, you are eligible to work, that I just mentioned earlier. Next slide, please. Cost. It is a very important thing because we all care about money. So in case of re-registration for TPS, there is no fee for form I-821. So once you are in TPS, you can renew it for the time mentioned by Department of Homeland Security without any fee. For the first time applicants, there is a filing fee of $50, plus also there's a $85 biometric appointment fee if you are above 14 years old. However, there is a way to apply for waiver of these fees. So to apply for waiver of these fees, you have to fill up the form I-912, and then you can submit with your TPS application. So they will approve it and they will waive your fee. Next slide, please. What happens if TPS is denied? So there are multiple options. Once your TPS is approved, that is great. If it is denied, then you can also apply for motion to reopen to the administrative appeal office. However, in the denial letter, they usually mention about 30 days window period to apply for administrative appeal office motion to reopen. So you have to apply to AAO's office within that specific 30 days. If they do not give you any time to motion to reopen, then you can go to immigration court and apply for apply for appeal for your TPS application. Also, you can also apply for motion to reconsider with the form I-129B. Hold on a second, please. Honey, can you please go and watch TV? Go ahead, watch TV. Yeah, so sorry about that. So yeah, there are three options: apply for a motion to reopen, motion to reconsider, and appeal in immigration judges court. Next slide, please. All right. Probable outcome after the expiration of TPS. So there are some outcomes. If your TPS application, your TPS approval is expired. So in most cases, Department of Homeland Security will renew the your TPS status if they continue assigning TPS status to that country. If sometime they will not renew your application, but they will give you window to move to other kind of visas. So bottom line is those who are under TPS, don't worry. Once you get TPS, it's most likely it will be maintained. And in general, Department of Homeland Security, they grant TPS status to certain country for 6 months, 12 months, or 18 months. Yeah, um, it's okay. Yeah. So go to the next slide, please. So also there will be an announcement for a termination of TPS where the status of the country TPS holders will expire. So let's say you are from Haiti, you have TPS, and U.S. government is not going to not designate Haiti for TPS. They will definitely let you know 60 days before your expiration that hey, your country is not going to be designated as TPS. So please move to other kind of visa. So once you are in TPS, um, don't worry about that. You have other options. Next slide, please. Okay, thank you. So that was our presentation for TPS today. And if you have any question about TPS or any other matter, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mahajan, for that very informative session. I'm sure we all learned a lot about TPS today. We have some comments waiting for us. So thank you, Mr. Shankar Sharma, for tuning in from Bangladesh. Mr. Abdul Congo, thank you for your interest. Please reach out please look at our website, or you can reach out to us through email, and we will be happy to answer any queries you have. Mr. Raj Sigdal has asked, thanks for the information. Do we have to pay biometric fee for TPS re-registration?
No, the re-registration for TPS is free.
Right, thank you so much. I hope that answers your query. Now that we have addressed the questions from the comment sections of our post, I want to read up some of the comments from our archive emails. So the first comment we have in the archive email is from Miss Kanis Fatima, and she is asking, I'm applying for an F1 visa with 2 children, ages 5 and 2, seeking your advice on improving my visa chances if I attend with both children and my husband, B, if I attend with only my youngest child.
So if you apply for F1 status, your children and husband will be eligible for F2 status. So it doesn't matter like whether applying by yourself or with your husband. It depends on your background. If your admission is good, if the university where you're going is good, and if you have enough bank statement, like an authentic bank statement to show that you have enough money to support your family, then I would advise you to go, apply for your family, including your family. That will probably be better because USCIS or like embassy people will see that you are an honest person. You're showing everything to them. So honestly, it doesn't matter if you're applying by yourself or with your family, but I would suggest you go with the family.
I hope that answers your query, Ms. Fatima. We have another question from Mr. Khalid Mahmoud, and he's asking, if my employer terminates me with 1 year left on my H-1B visa, will it be cancelled automatically, or can I apply for an H-1B visa with another company in the USA?
Yes, so if you have 1 more year, then it will not be automatically terminated. As soon as your termination for the employment is effective, you have 60 days to transfer your H-1B to another company within the same or similar field. So if you do not or if you cannot transfer your H-1B to another company, then after 60 days, your H-1B will be terminated. But it will not terminated just because you lost the job. You have 60 days grace period.
All right. Mr. Mahmoud has another question, and he's asking, how can I extend my H-1B visa after 6 years completion if I have a pending green card application or a labor certification?
So after 6 years of H-1B, you can move to another kind of law. It's called AC-21, American Competitiveness in the 21st Century Law. But to apply for that, you have to take initiative before 1 year of your 6-year period is over. You cannot just move to that one just because your H-1B is over. So and I'm not going that detail into AC-21 law at this moment. I would advise you to talk to an immigration attorney and see what is your current status, where you're working. And you said, as I can remember, you have an approved I-140, which is very good for you. So you are eligible for AC-21, but you have to check like how many time left from your original H-1B, and based on that, I'll be able to suggest you.
Thank you so much for your query. We have one commentator, Mr. Hossein Mohammed Zakir, who is asking, Would you please tell us about EB3 visa?
I already had multiple session about EB3. If you go to our YouTube channel, there's like a lot of videos about EB3. But short answer to your question is, to get EB3 visa, you have to have a job here in America. If you can find the job by yourself, my law firm can help you. If you do not have job here in America, you have to talk to an agency, and they will be able to help you. So we have a client agency is called Great American Recruiter, www.greatamericanrecruiter.com. You may contact them and you can talk if you do not have a job. But for detail, go to our YouTube channel and watch our previous videos. We have multiple videos about EB3.
I hope that answers your query. We have another question from the archives from Mr. 𝗦𝘂𝘃𝗍𝘆, and he's asking, I have a 5-year B1, B2 visa. I plan to visit the US for 1-month tour and apply for an E2 visa during my stay. I have legal arrangements for transfer money to the USA. Can I complete the I-129 process for the E2 visa within my 6-month legal stay in the US under my B1, B2 status?
Yes, I believe you'll be able to complete that process within 6 months, but don't worry, even if the 6 months period is passed, and if you can submit your E2 application as long as your E2 application is pending, you do not need to leave America for 6 months restriction. You're good to stay. So don't worry, come to America, apply for E2 visa, and then you're good.
Mr. 𝗦𝘂𝘃𝗲 has another question. Is there premium processing for E2 applications? If so, what is the charge from USCIS?
I cannot remember the charge at this moment. If you just go to USCIS website and search E2 application, you will get all the information. But yes, there is a premium processing for E2 application.
I hope that answers your query, Mr. Pal. We have another question from somebody named 𝗦𝘂𝘃𝗍𝘆, and he's asking, what are the grounds for revocation or denial of my green card if the immigration authorities suspect fraud, misrepresentation, or abuse in my marriage?
Yes, I mean, there is a good chance. If they can suspect all these things, and if you received your green card for marriage-based application, then there is a chance that they will revoke your green card application. So you can Google grounds for green card revocation, and you get all the reasons. At this moment, in general, unless you commit major fraud, major criminal activity, usually they don't revoke any green card. But if your application is a marriage-based application, and if you did fraud or misrepresentation in your marriage, then there is a chance that they can revoke your green card.
And Mr. 𝗦𝘂𝘃𝗍𝘆 has another question. How can I apply for a waiver of the joint filing requirement if I am divorced, widowed, abused, or abandoned by my spouse who sponsored my green card?
Yes, so there is a form to apply for waiver of green condition removal from your green card. I believe the name of the form is I-751. You can do it yourself, but I strongly recommend you to talk to an immigration attorney and get help, because sometime since you already got divorced, it may cost you your precious green card. So I strongly advise you to talk to immigration attorney, take help from them, and then apply for waiver.
I hope that answers your query, Mr. Hawk. We have another question from Mr. Ismail Hussain, and he's asking, how can I transfer my H-1B visa to a new employer if I receive a better job offer or want to change my career?
You cannot change your career while you are in H-1B and want to transfer to another company. It must be the same job, within the same industry. So let's say you are a software engineer in an IT company, and you want to transfer that to another company. It must be a software engineer job in an IT company. You cannot go to an electrical engineering position and do electrical engineering job. You have to be within the same or similar field. And transferring is very easy. It's like a new H-1B application. First, you have to contact your new employer, ask them whether they are willing to transfer your H-1B from your previous company to the new one. If they say yes, we'll do it. Just apply for transfer. It's very easy. I again strongly advise you to work with immigration attorney. That will make your process faster, because you only have 60 days grace period to transfer your H-1B from previous company to the new one. So yeah, it's very important to work with an immigration attorney.
Thank you so much, Mr. Marjan, for that answer. We have another question from Mr. 𝗦𝘂𝘃𝗍𝘆, and he's asking, I completed my MBA in 2012 and have worked as a metadata specialist for an American company for 6 years. I do music licensing, website SEO, and maintenance, and hold the role of Director of International Operations. Um, the company has an office in Los Angeles. Can I apply for an EB1C visa? My US company is ready to sponsor me.
Well, to apply for EB1C, it must be a multinational company, and you have to work in that multinational company's foreign branch. So let's say if the company, you said has an office in Los Angeles, but if they have an office in, where did he work? Did he say where did he work before?
Um, Not really. He has not mentioned the company name.
Okay, so you have, so let's say your company name is ABC company, and they have a branch, let's say in London or like in Mumbai or some other place, and you work there for like a certain period of time, and then they want to transfer you from that Mumbai or London branch to Los Angeles branch. Only then you are eligible for EB1C, and technically you cannot apply for EB1C by yourself. It is your company who will apply for you. So talk to your company, but if you meet this requirement, and ask them whether they are interested to apply for you, and then you can talk to immigration attorney.
There is another query from Mr. Ahmed, and he's asking, what kind of documents does my employer company require from their side for my sponsorship?
So EB3 has a long requirement. It's kind of very hard for me to talk in all the requirements at this moment, but in short, the requirements would be the company's eligibility requirements. So meaning it's a multinational company, it has multiple branches, so they need to establish that through their tax file. Also, they have to establish that you are their employer for employee for let's say 2-3 years, and you worked as a executive or managerial position. Again, another requirement, it must be at least mid-level executive or a managerial position. So they have to establish this thing with your tax file. So when you establish these two things, you are eligible to apply.
I hope that answers your query, Mr. Ahmed. We have some questions from our spectators in our comment boxes. Ms. Emily Marshall asks, do you think the 5-year EAD will be for AOS? When will it start? Also, an update for stamping for H-1B inside the US.
Can I see the previous question? Do you think the 5-year EAD will be for AOS? When will it start? I'm not sure about this question. So AOS means adjustment of status. So when anybody apply for adjustment of status, they also apply for the EAD card, and the EAD card is usually valid until they get the green card. So I don't think any AOS takes like 5 years that long. Usually people get AOS approved within 1 year or even less. So I don't know why you need a 5 years EAD card. The second part is also an update for stamping for H-1B inside the USA. So never, no American agency is allowed to stamp a visa from within America. So I do not think, and a lot of people, they're saying it will, American government is going to change it, they will allow it, but I don't think it will happen within very short time. So this is just a rumor. I don't think it will be within a very short time.
We have another question from Mr. Abdul Muzid, and he's asking, I have completed BBA, MBA in Bangladesh and working experience as over 5 years as Assistant Officer Cash in a private commercial bank in Bangladesh. Can I apply for EB2 NIW?
The short answer is yes, you can apply, but since your education and your work experience both in Bangladesh, you do not have any foreign experience, I do not think you have a very good case. So I would not encourage you to apply at this moment. What I would encourage you to try to get some foreign experience. So let's say you work for a private commercial bank in Bangladesh. If you could work for a private commercial bank, let's say in Dubai, Singapore, Malaysia kind of place, if you can get an MBA from a foreign university, like let's say European university, American university, or Canada, Australia, Japan, then your case would be stronger. But with this profile, you are still eligible to apply, but I do not think you have a good case.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mahajan. I hope that answers your query, Mr. Mozid. And Ms. Emily Marshall has given a follow-up statement. She's referring to the DHS announcement that the EAD cards will be valid for 5 years.
So I don't know which announcement you're referring to. A lot of people are talking about a lot of things, but usually they don't give EAD card for 5 years. They only give EAD card for 1 year or 2 years. And in most cases for AOS, people get green card even before expiration of the first year of EAD card. So I'm not sure about which announcement you're talking about.
Next up, we have some more questions from our archives. So again, Mr. 𝗂𝘂𝘆 has asked, what are the implications of the new H-1B visa rule that changes the selection process from a random lottery to a wage-based system? And how can I increase my chances of getting selected under this new system?
So the new system is not implemented yet. It's going to be implemented soon. So until then, you do not have to do anything at this moment. Just keep working, and before February, when the new H-1B lottery system will be open, please contact us and we'll help you with this later. Right now, still we are having the same old policy.
We have another question from Mr. Mahmoud. How does the USCIS rule extending employment authorization benefit work visa applicants? What are the conditions and requirements for this extension?
Can you please say that again?
How does the USCIS rule extending employment authorization benefit work visa applicants?
I'm not sure about this question. I think I need more information to answer this question. So I would request that person to send a little more detail about the question, then I'll be able to answer.
Yes, Mr. Mahmoud, please feel free to reach out to us through our emails or look at our website for more information. And with that, Mr. 𝗦𝘂 𝗟𝗶𝘆 is asking, is it possible to change visa status from M2 to F1?
Short answer is yes, that is possible, but there's a lot of restriction. So a lot of time you may need to go back to your home country and apply for F1 visa again. You may not be able to change it from within America, especially when your M2 status is still not completed. So short answer is yes, possible, but it has some restriction. You have to follow the restriction.
Miss Emily Marshall has reached out again. She's saying, no, not for employment base because of backlog with the visa bulletin. EAD is valid from 2 years now. She says she's getting this information from the office government website.
Okay, then yeah, please send me an email with the link. I'll double check and then I'll get back to you through the email.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Marshall. Please do reach out to us through our emails and look at our website for more information. We do not have any more spectator comments now, and we are done with our archive emails. Thank you so much, Mr. Mahajan, for this informative session and this Q&A period as well. And
thank you very much, everybody. We'll talk in our next Sunday's program.
Yes, thank you, everybody. We will see you at the same time next Sunday as well. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Los Angeles of California is the global hub for film and international business. After Washington, D.C., Atlanta, and Dhaka, Rajullah has inaugurated its 4th branch in the Little Bangladesh area near downtown Los Angeles. The office is located on the 12th floor of Central Plaza on Wilshire Boulevard. Rajullah is a full-service immigration law firm providing American immigration support all over the world through Google's state-of-the-art cloud technology. We stand out with a dedicated team of 7 accomplished attorneys and over 100 law clerks and case managers. Rajullah is your trustworthy destination for 100% accurate and reliable immigration service, ensuring your data security and peace of mind regardless of your location. We are proud to announce that our success rate is above 99%. To learn more about our Los Angeles branch, please contact the address and phone number shown on the screen.